Howdy, hi, friends. I hope you've been having a happy new year. I know we're already a few weeks in, but I'm glad to be back here. Going back into some Reddit relationship advice where I'm giving my unsolicited opinion in case you're new here. And if you are new here, I have a whole playlist about some other videos. If you're a returning person, thank you so much. Don't forget to like this video, comment down below. During the video if you find something funny or interesting, or I want to also hear your takes. I had a very engaging video last year, which is nice to hear other people's opinions on the relationships. And I reply to the ones that I can, which is all of them because it's not that many. Hey, and also hit the notification bell so you know when things are coming up. You'll also want to make sure that you're subscribed because I'm going to do a couple other new things coming up this year, and you don't want to miss it, darlings. So with that, let's get into it. Story number 1. My 19-year-old female's boyfriend, who's a 20-year-old male's eyes scare the crap out of me. I'm not sure what to do from here. Posting on my spam because my man's on Reddit. My boyfriend and I have been together for 6 months, but have known and been been friends with each other since we were 17 and 18. Okay, cool. So 2-ish years, 2 to 3 years. I mentioned this because it's relevant, but he has never, ever been abusive or manipulative, either verbally, physically, or emotionally. Never even a hint of any of that nonsense. We're both very level-headed people, so no crazy fights with screaming or anything like that, as we view that as disrespectful. Yeah, good. There are some disagreements and stresses we have as we're long distance, okay, and pursuing different paths in life at the moment, but we have a very healthy relationship. Okay, good to know. Now, here's the main issue, and it's kind of insane sounding, but I don't know. A couple of months ago, we were having a civil disagreement about something, and he was glancing at me from the corner of his eye and speaking to me. And the look in his eyes genuinely scared the shit out of me. And it's not about the eye color or anything like that. It's the look. You know how you hear about the soulless eyes that serial killers have? No joke. That was 100% there. And I haven't ever gotten that something is wrong, you need to run feeling before with anyone else. It's obviously wasn't anything intentional on his part, and he was speaking very calmly, but I immediately stopped. I feel like that makes it even scarier. I immediately stopped disagreeing and just accepted whatever he was saying because I was so unnerved. Interesting. I didn't mention anything to him and just ignored it. But the next time we disagreed about something, the look was back. And again, I got so genuinely frightened. I just agreed with whatever he was saying. That's not good. We'll get back to that. This doesn't happen every time we disagree or argue, but it happens enough to make me question whether I'm safe with him. I know a lot of people say this on the app, but he's actually an amazing partner to me, and I'm so very happy with him. I'm just looking for advice on what to do next and how seriously I should consider this feeling. There is something to say. Someone in the comment says that is your primitive brain recognizing a threat. It can be wrong, but you definitely should not dismiss it. Yeah, I agree with that. The first thing that came to mind is some people, when they're in stressful situations, they love to wear a mask. We're oh, this person is so nice. When they don't get their way and you see a mask slip, or something happened and something shady, and then when it kind of comes to fruition, you kind of see a glimpse of oh, you're really like this. And I don't mean something that comes up and oh, they were just angry. You're I feel like this is who you actually are, but you just try to hide it well. You've known this person for 2 years, though, 2 to 3 years. You said it's been going well. It sounds like the first time it happened was really recently. And then when you've had different disagreements, it started to pop up more. And the reason I said oh, you agreeing, I was that's actually not good, because if he is conscious that he's giving this look of terror and dread into your eyes, so stupid, and he knows I can do this to get my way, that's also not going to be good, right? Because that's kind of enabling the behavior if he's aware of it. If he's not aware of it, I'm how do you bring up this conversation? I think you can do it in a way, if you really feel scared about it, maybe do it in a public place, at a dinner where you're hey, sometimes, when we argue, you give me this look and it actually scares me. I know you'd never hurt me, but like I don't like the intensity of that look. It really unnerves me. And like the responsibility to be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to do that." Or like, "What do you mean?" Like it could be asking further questions to get clarity and be like, "Sorry, I didn't know I was doing that." I could feel better about that. But if it feels like are you insinuating it, especially if you're like, I don't think you're going to hurt me, but it just makes me feel uncomfortable. I think that's the way you present it. So that way, if he does say, "Oh, you think I would hurt you? How dare you say that? I'm like a man," right? Like you can tell by the reaction whether or not like, "Oh, this actually," because that reaction would be like, "I actually probably am in danger," because you got a little fuse box instead of actually having a conversation about this, especially because he is so nice and kind. He really didn't want to hurt you, and you said you do this thing and it makes me feel afraid. I feel like someone that actually cares and that is actually kind, genuinely kind, would actually, I mean, they may feel salty about it, but they're not going to attack you in a vicious way. If he does attack you in a vicious way, then I think you're clocking what you're seeing correctly, and maybe it's time to vamoose. That's my advice. Next story. My boyfriend, a 22-year-old male, tried to buy me a 21-year-old female a boob job for my birthday. Praise the Lord. Also, how you have all this money? You 22 buying a boob job? Ain't that's several $1,000s. My boyfriend comes from, well, I guess that answers that. My boyfriend comes from a wealthy family. My family is upper middle class, but not crazy wealthy. Not wealthy enough for throwing thousands of dollars at your significant other for a completely elective surgery. Understood. This all started because a couple months ago I had sepsis. Oh, I'm sorry, girl. I had a UTI that I never got around to getting a prescription for because I was so busy in college. And I'm gonna stop you right there. Now, not to break you, there are people I know in my life, and we don't need to name names, but they feel like, "Oh, I'm sick and I have something that requires me to get medicine, but I'm just not going to do it." Right? And for you to get sepsis, like, girl, you was waiting a long time. You skip a class, you leave a class early, you come to a class late, you double your lunch break, you get a sandwich on the go, and you eat that while you're in the waiting room so you can go to the doctor to get the prescription. Especially for UTI, like, there's certain things where, like, when I had like strep before, when like you go in, right, maybe you have a long wait time, but it's like you go in, you're like, "I have strep," and they're like, "Okay, cool, let's just run the test, boom, cool, confirmed, let's give you the medicine," right? And the appointments are quick, right? The longest thing you do is waiting in the waiting room. And let's say you need to study for a test, boom, you can do it there. You need to finish some homework, you can finish it in the lobby. Like, there are ways in which you could be creative. I have never once, and I was very, very busy in undergrad, and so were many of my friends. Whereas we're doing like dual master's program. I don't care how busy you are. Your health is your health, and get it done in a timely matter. Like, there's times I'm like, "Oh, I can't do today. Maybe not tomorrow for some reason." But like, get it done. Don't play around with your health. Like, you have something, especially when it's bacterial, because bacterials almost never like go away on its own. You need medicine to get it away. Viral stuff will usually go away over time. So that's my hot take on that. I hope you learned a lesson. I know you're busy in college, but like, don't do that. And sports clubs that I barely even found time to eat. Yeah, yeah, that's not even what it's about. I know I'm getting upset. Yeah, prioritize your. I think there's like, there are people I know that I care about that are like just very sick, and it's because they haven't prioritized their health. And it's very easy to keep yourself busy. Like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. Well, you definitely won't have time when you're dead. And that sounds very harsh, but it's also true. I was even peeing blood in severe pain by the time I was hospitalized. I know, girl. I feel so bad, and I hope you don't do this again. And right, being busy, right? Yes. All right, we've beaten the horse. The horse, bam, has been beaten. We're good. I've lost weight due to hospitalization. Blah blah blah. My boyfriend remarks, asking when I'll get my curves back. I know he likes bigger girls or whatever. He's Mr. Opportunity, ain't he? But I'm taking my time getting my strength back and just eating whole foods. The weight will come when it comes. Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, I'm fine with my body right now because I'm at a healthy weight. Okay. You said there's a blessing in disguise. Okay. I was like, I'm one stomach bug away from my ideal weight. That's a joke. Eat. Please eat. He he doesn't put too much effort. Jesus, food. He doesn't put too much effort into his appearance, so I never react well to him trying to police mine. I know that's right, because you don't want me to read you, little bitch. I should call him a little bitch, but like, be like, oh, I wish you looked like this. I remember this one guy. He told me, I was like, oh, I like that you're working out. It's good when you're like, and he was basically implying. I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was like easily implied that like I would be hotter if I lost a few pounds. And I remember thinking that was crazy because I was like, if I lose a few pounds, yeah, my body will be more snatched, but your face is just freaking busted. He did have a nice body. I was talking to him because he was nice on text and Tinder. He did have a nice body, which is like, okay, I don't care about that as much. I'm like, ooh, it's nice to have it, but like, it's truly not that serious. And he had a really good job. The face was okay, kind of on the mess side. So I was like, that's crazy. Cause like, you want to talk about me. He had a good job. I guess he could fix his face, but it would need surgery. That was jacked up, and I shouldn't have said it, but I did. Moving on. What am I on today? Jesus. Oh, this will also be the last story. I've done too many caveats. I was gonna do one more, but we'll keep it to this. My birthday was Wednesday, and after we went out to dinner with friends and we were alone, he gave me a little business card and said it was my gift. I was confused, and so I looked closer, and it was a cosmetic surgeon's card with an appointment date on it. I asked oh, he had the date picked out already? That's crazy. Not you and your busy schedule. How would you find the time? I asked what it was, and he said he wanted me to feel more like myself, so he scheduled a consultant with a surgeon for breast augmentation. How would she feel more like herself by getting implants? Her breast would be, okay. Maybe I guess like maybe her breast got a little smaller because she lost weight. To his credit, since I've been feeling crappy and I wanted to feel a little cuter, and I've been doing things like getting my nails done and hair done just to boost my self-esteem a bit. However, I do not want a boob job. Yes, that part. And I've never said I wanted a boob job. Yes, I just got out of the hospital after a month, and I don't want to go any near surgeons or hospitals anytime soon unless it's life or death. Now, again, girl, you need to go when you need to go, not life or death. I'm not feeling well. A yearly check-in. Physicals are important. I had some blood tests run the other day. It showed that I had elevated fat levels in my liver, and not the good kind of fat. So we had to make some adjustments, but that's something I wouldn't have known if I didn't do a checkup. You know, it's important. Your health is important. We don't live together, so I asked him to leave. I told him I'd speak with him when I was ready, but he's been blowing up my phone and begging me to call him to just acknowledge him, but I have no idea what to say yet. Part of me wants to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he just wanted to help my confidence, but part of me isn't sure. I'm just hurt. I think he's been privileged to be like, I think his whole life he's been the one where it's like, the man is always right, and like, I think this genuinely, because he came from a very wealthy family, and it's like, oh, you could just do that, and like, oh, people get boob jobs all the time from where like I'm from, where I grew up. I feel like this is like common. He's like, most women get it to feel better about themselves. He's like, why don't I just give you this as a gift? Clearly, the disposable income was fully there. So I don't think it's actually as malicious as it is. Like, it actually is like very jacked up to do that. I don't think he knows it's as jacked up to do that. I thought he'd like it. I think it's senseless man that has no kind of, just rocks. What that one girl do? Dung 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 dung. Just shaking all around there. That's him. Does that mean you should take him back? No, I think this means that you have to be very aware that this isn't going to be the only thing that he feels like, well, no, it's like this. And whether helpful or harmful, like, I think that will be his MO. So you just have to decide if you want to deal with that. I do think it was, you're allowed to be mad. So don't take that out of context. You're allowed to be mad and upset that he did that, because it's just jacked up, right? Don't police my body. And it sounds like, I mean, even from that comment he made, oh yeah, leave him. I forgot about that comment he made after you lost weight. He's like, when are you getting your curves back? That's the wrong thing to say. After sepsis, you can die from sepsis. You should just leave him. And you, girl, you need to go to therapy, and you need to start valuing your health, because like the things that you're saying are like actually ridiculous. And you're don't do like someone in my family did, where you build up this phobia about going to the hospital, because that truly will only make things worse. You have to see it. And when you only go to the hospital when you're in a death situation, yeah, it's going to be a scary place to go. It's like the dentist. If you brush your teeth and take care of your teeth, then when you go to the dentist, it's not bad. But when you don't, and then it's very painful, then you're like, I don't want to go back. But I'm like, yeah, if you don't go back though, then your teeth are going to get worse. Think about the long term. Think about longevity. I want you to start valuing yourself, and that means you and your health and your body. Running around, not eating, not going to doctor when you need to, pushing things off, like a UTI. That ain't it. And that's all the time we have for today, friends. So, can't wait to see you next week. Bye.